Love Culture Workshops, and I'm Marielle Tesoro. Welcome, and today we'll be talking about signs of a toxic relationship. So, if you're here today, you're listening in, and you're thinking about your own relationships. Am I in a toxic relationship? Um, you might be thinking of someone that you know who's in a toxic relationship. Hopefully, this session can be of help to you. Okay, so before we dig into that, I think it's important to remember that God, our amazing God, has planned the truest kind of love for us. And it's a love that's lasting. It's a love that will bring out true joy in us. Okay, but in reality, that's not always the case. Sometimes we find ourselves in a demanding, controlling, needy, and unhealthy relationship. So, today we'll find out what are the signs. Are you in one? And because we're talking about building a love culture, okay, we need to know how to get out and break free from these kinds of relationships. Okay, so let's look at the signs. But before that, let's look at our own relationships. Think about this. Is the relationship that you have right now, does it bring out the best in you? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even physically? Because if it's a love that is so good and true, okay, it will bring out the best in you. The inside will match the outside, so you'll bloom and become so pleasant to look at. Okay, so, and then the second one is know the relationships that you have right now. Okay? That specific relationship that you're thinking about. Does it bring you closer to God, who is the source of all love, who is the source of all goodness and joy? Okay? Does it bring you closer to God? Okay, so what are the signs? Okay, so number one is you don't know your place. What does that mean? You haven't defined your relationship. Are you a couple? Are you officially together? Should you be doing this? Should you be texting him at this time? You don't have clear expectations. You don't really understand what you expect from each other. You don't know where the relationship is going. Okay, so if you find yourself constantly confused of this relationship, then it causes you unnecessary stress. That is unhealthy. Okay? We live in a very challenging world, and additional stress is definitely not welcome. So that's the first thing. Okay? Define the relationship. Second red flag, okay? Second sign. Okay? You feel pressured to do something that you don't want to do, or you feel pressured to be someone you're not. Okay? You find yourself constantly explaining yourself. It's like whatever you've done or whoever you are at the moment is not enough. You feel pressured to do something, pressured to have sex, pressured to perform in front of other people. You're pressured to become this image of the person you're in the relationship with, when you're not really that person. There are demands from the other, and you know you cannot do it, but you feel that you have to do it because you might lose him or her. You feel pressured to change your beliefs, to park or to set aside what you stand for because he or she doesn't accept it or doesn't stand by you with it. You feel that you just have to forget who you are because who you are will not be able to meet the person that he or she wants you to be. So if you feel pressured all the time, you feel that you always have to justify your actions, your decisions, um, just ask yourself, okay, do you want to feel pressured all the time? And you feel the need to explain, to justify your actions and decisions to the other. And you always feel the need to change yourself just because who you are isn't enough. Then ask yourself, will this allow you to become the better version, the best version that God has called you to be? Are you becoming the best version for yourself? Or are you just putting a front to please someone? will this be lasting, or will this just exhaust you entirely? Okay, third sign, you feel like it's always your fault. If you find yourself always trying to apologize, if you feel like you're always being blamed, that you're being minimized, that you're not respected, okay, then that's unhealthy. Okay? When God sees us, He doesn't see us as a mistake. He doesn't see us as a sum of our wrongs, but He sees us out of love. He sees us always in our best. Okay? And if you're in a relationship where the other person sees you as someone who falls short of his or her expectations, then just get out of this relationship. Fourth sign is you have your own work. Okay? What does that mean? That you always have to be together. And if you're not together, there's something wrong. Uh, you have lost friendships, precious friendships. Your family members, you don't have time for them because it always has to be this other person. Um, you or this other person, you think other relationships will compete with your own exclusive relationship. Okay, you have lost your passion and your interests because all your passions and your interests are his or her passions and interests. It's your world revolves around his or her world. Okay, so you have lost yourself, okay, because you gave so much of yourself to the other person because you found yourself unimportant. Okay, this is not true. Okay, because in a relationship, you're supposed to grow together, to bring out the best in each other. And if you minimize yourself and you think that you don't deserve to pursue your passion, to explore your interests, just because they're unimportant compared to the other, then there's something wrong with the relationship. Okay? Love means, okay, both of you see the same thing and you're gearing towards that best versions of yourselves. It's not only just one person, but it should be both. The fifth, and I think the worst, okay, sign that you're in a toxic relationship is that you hurt each other. Okay? Physically, okay, I don't think that needs further explanation, but also mentally and emotionally. Okay? When you're fighting, if you find yourself genuinely wanting to hurt the other, take revenge, um, wish for his downfall, then this is not love. Okay? Because love is constantly wanting the best for the other. Okay? Even in challenging moments. Even in moments that you are in disagreement, even in moments where you're not seeing eye to eye, right? You still see that this person is worthy of love. And if you come to a point wherein you don't see the person, but you see him as just someone who has hurt you and you want to get back at that person, then that's not building the love culture. Now that we know the signs or the red flags of a toxic or unhealthy relationship, the bigger challenge is, or the biggest challenge is, it's not knowing, but what do we actually do about it? Is how do we break free? Okay, how do we actually act on this so that we can have a better, happier. The challenge now is not just knowing, but actually doing something about it. Okay, so how do we break free? Okay, how do we get out of these relationships? So if you've noticed earlier, I kept saying, I kept repeating the pronoun you. Okay, I kept saying you have to do this, or are you in this situation, or because no matter how many times people around you tell you that your relationship is toxic or it's unhealthy, even if they pray for you, beg you, force you, there's nothing that they can do if you don't want to get out of it. Okay? So the key is you. Okay? You recognize these signs And then you actually have that desire to get out of it, because God, has the greatest plan for our love lives, and it's it's a good kind of love. It's a true love. It's a love that will make you truly happy. Okay, so how do we break free? Okay, so I have three letters: A, B, and C. Okay, so letter A. Okay, so what is A? A is very simple. Ask yourself. Okay, can you relate with the examples I gave earlier? Are you in those specific situations? Do you find yourself answering yes to the questions I posted earlier? Okay, so honestly, ask yourself, am I in a toxic relationship? Am I settling? Okay, and after asking yourself, admit, okay, that's the next A. Admit that this is not God's plan for you. Admit that you're not made for toxicity, but God has made you for a relationship that is life-giving, okay? A relationship that will build you up as a person. Okay, so the next letter is B, okay? Because you cannot do this alone. A letter B is build a strong support system. Okay? You cannot do this on your own. Okay? So that is a very important thing to remember. Even if you have it in your heart, I must get out of this. I'm not happy. I know it's wrong. You can't do it on your own. You need all the support that you can get. And find people who will journey with you, who will encourage you when you're about to give up. Find people who will see the best in you and know that you deserve something better. Okay, so it can be friends, it can be family, it can be people you look up to, it can be people who are in a healthy relationship who can mentor you. Okay, so build that strong support system. Okay, and the next B is be ready to fight the urge to run back to this person. Okay, it's not easy. Okay, it's not going to be a piece of cake. Okay, of course, especially if you've been in this relationship for so long, you have been so used to this. This is the only way that you know how a relationship works. Okay, so be ready to fight the urge to get back together. Be ready to be courageous to get over that guilt. Okay, you know your mind can be playing tricks with you, making you think that don't leave him or her. You're hurting him. Okay, making you feel guilty, making you feel making you doubt your decision. Okay, so be ready. Okay, be strong and know that if you know it's wrong, then stick with it. Okay? Stick with your guts and um, be strong in standing up for what God has planned for you. Okay, so letter C now means the most important is call on God. Okay, I've said earlier you can't do this alone, but you can't just do this with friends. Okay, you can't just do this with your family. Okay, you need the support. You need God. Okay, because He will make everything possible. Okay, so call unto Him, communicate with Him, clarify with Him what needs to be done. Okay, create a strong relationship with Him. Okay, create an environment where you can grow in your relationship with Him. So all those C's, okay? The most important thing is, okay, when you come to God, okay, just be honest. Okay? Come to Him in all humility and ask His help. Okay? Ask Him, okay, to transform your heart, to change your heart, have a change of heart so that you can finally see, so that He can remove what's blocking your eyesight, remove what's blocking the eyes of your heart so you can finally see what is the truth, what is it that He has planned for you, what is it that He wants you to experience. Call unto Him, cry to Him. Okay? Let your heart be so open that when you come to Him, so that He can fill you with this grace, to be able to make this decision to break free, because God, who is our loving Father, wants you not just to be happy, but He wants you to be happiest. He doesn't just want you to be good, but He wants you to be the best. He doesn't just want you to settle in these kinds of relationship. He sees us in our best, and He knows we deserve nothing less. So let Him be the one to show you what you're meant for. Let Him be the one to show you the great plan that He has been preparing for you all along. So again, it's not going to be easy. It's easier said than done, but know that it's not just you who wants this change. I'm sure a lot of people can see if you're drowning, if you're in need of help. Just um, make that decision to break free, and it will all start with that. Let us remember that we have a God who is a God of love, and He only wants the best for us. He didn't make us for toxicity or for unhealthy relationships. He has made us to be loved and feel loved, to experience joy, um, to live a life that will actually allow us to feel fulfilled in our relationships. This is His plan. And if you're not experiencing His plan, take courage. You're made for greatness. People believe in you. There are people who will be willing to help you out. Just believe that you're meant for something better. If you think you're happy now, you could be happier. If you think that you're feeling love, um, and you're in a toxic relationship, and you're trying to justify things, believe that there's something better in store for you. I hope that this session has helped you in one way or another. There are other workshops to check out. Thank you for joining in today. Let's continue building the culture of love. Bye. God bless.
Hi friends, were you inspired by this workshop? We hope it doesn't end here. We would like to encourage you to bring Live Pure to where you are, in your schools, in your parishes, in your dioceses, in your institutions. Bring the cause of Live Pure. Invite us to give talks to you. Invite us to give you the Live Pure recollection. You know what? This is how love culture will spread. God wants to use you, and may you allow God to use you so that love culture will really be love culture.